So I've got these beautiful little guys. They're Gulf shrimp, and you can always tell they're nice and pink when they're raw, and they kind of have that like almost brown sort of spalting on them. I love these shrimp. They're really sweet. They're really delicious. But normally, and I like to get them with the heads on if I can. In this case, I couldn't, so no big love lost there. But with those heads, I will freeze those until I have enough to make a really nice shrimp broth or make some killer ramen or something like that. So always save your shells too. And the knife we're going to be using is that paring knife. With this guy, you're definitely gonna want to have a lot of control on this knife. And the reason I don't use anything bigger than this is because the smaller the knife, the more control you have. So I'm actually going to kind of choke up on this knife quite a bit. And one of the reasons we made this with an extra long handle, I tacked on like almost an inch of what a regular paring knife is to give you all that weight to put in your hand so that this knife doesn't just get lost sort of in your hand and result in you making a mistake with your food or your finger. So, and again, this guy is like a scalpel. It is super, super sharp. So I'm going to choke way up on this knife, only allowing myself to cut with this tip. And again, one of the reasons I have my cutting board completely flush to my counter is that now I can work underneath it. So my hand can actually go below my cutting surface. And that's really important. So with the shrimp, you can actually see where that vein is. And in the process of taking the shell off, we're making like a nice little insert in there. We're going to take that vein out, and then the shrimp should peel really easy. So I personally like to leave the tails on when I do this dish. And again, you know, just eat around them, eat with your hands. This is not one of those, you know, and this is more like East Coast hangout, let's make some food and drink some beer kind of dish. So with this guy, I'm going to go in right here, and I'm just going to allow my knife to sort of travel right down that spine all the way to the tail. And I'm cutting right underneath my finger, and I'm holding the shrimp nice and flat so that when I open this up, this entire peel comes right off to the tail. And that is a beautiful little shrimp. I also keep a bowl of water just so I can clean this guy up. If there's any of that track still left in there, any of this vein stuff, it's real easy to get off your fingers in that bowl of water. So there you go, one beautiful shrimp right there. Guy's nice. All right, so next one, we're gonna go in. And we're just going to open the shrimp up. The entire peel is going to come off right to the tail. Just like that. Shell. We're going to devein. And you really want to get that out of there. If there's anything in a shrimp that actually tastes bad, it's that right there. So there you got our beautiful guy right there. All right, I'm going to use this chef knife now to sort of do a pretty extreme bias cut on these scallions. This is going to be the garnish for our shrimp. And again, I'm going to sort of go in with that forward sort of swoop rocking. And you know, when you cut scallions, a sharp knife is crucial. You really want to slice them and not bruise them and smash them up. Otherwise, they get all bruised and watery and kind of funky. We want to keep them nice and crispy and good looking. So real just smooth, easy, nice, clean strokes all the way through. That's plenty right there. And you can see those just awesome, simple cuts, you know? That's one of the reasons I love this knife. All right, got that going. We're gonna do a little bit of olive oil in this pan right here. And not too much, you know, you never want to use too much of the fat. You just, you know, we've already got a little bit of butter and a tiny bit of cream going in here, and we're gonna balance it out with a little fresh lemon juice, but that is plenty of olive oil for this entire dish. So we're gonna start with our garlic and our shallot. Get those nice and coated. We'll add those really thinly sliced sort of fennel stalks. And this time I'm just going to add a touch of butter. And I'm actually using cold butter because we're going to emulsify the rest of that butter in at the end. There we go. And we're just sort of sweating this out. You don't want to keep your heat up too high because it's just going to burn that garlic. And once you really start to smell the aroma, and you can almost see them kind of jumping around. This is somewhere in between a sweat and a saute, but it smells fantastic. Then we're going to go ahead and turn up the heat a little bit, add our shrimp. Awesome. And again, you don't want to go like crazy high heat on this. You just want to sort of gently almost saute these guys just a little bit. Do one more little piece of butter in there. All right, that only takes another minute or two. Yeah, now we're gonna go, once these cook out a little bit more, I'll finish it with all the goods. All right, tiny bit of using organic heavy whipping cream. Not a lot, and we're gonna season. And we're gonna let that reduce down, and then we're just gonna emulsify our butter in there. That looks awesome. Okay. A little tiny pat of cold butter. And we're going to actually take that off the heat and just continuously swirl that. It's going to emulsify in here. It's just going to add a lot of depth and richness to this. And we're going to finish it with just a little bit of acid, lighten it up. There we go. Do a little bit of fresh lemon. Give it a taste. Oh yeah. Done.